Have you ever stood before a massive mountain and felt a deep sense of wonder? A feeling that the earth is alive, breathing, and watching over us. Snow and glaciers that form on these high peaks store water during winter and gradually release it during warmer months. Feeding some of the largest rivers on Earth, the Himalayas, for instance, are the source of the Ganges, Indus and Brahmaputra rivers, which sustain hundreds of millions of people. Snow leopards roam the Himalayas, Andean condors soar over the Andes, and unique alpine plants cling to life in the Rockies. Across the world, mountains have been seen as places of power, mystery, and spiritual energy. Mount Kailash in Tibet is considered sacred in Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Bon. Mount Fuji is revered in Japan. Mount Sinai holds deep significance in Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Many of them belong to indigenous tribes who have lived there for centuries. They contain important minerals and metals like gold, silver, copper, and coal. Scientists study mountains to learn about Earth's geological history. Deforestation is stripping slopes of their protective cover, causing landslides and erosion. We must support conservation programs that protect mountain wildlife and forests. They stand tall through storms, were the marks of time, and still provide life in countless ways. They are the ancient guardians of our planet, silently supporting us in every breath and every drop of water. As we gaze up at their peaks, we must also look inward and decide what kind of future we want for ourselves. For our planet and for the generations to come, we must choose responsible tourism and respect local cultures when visiting mountain regions. Like this video if you love nature. Subscribe for more fascinating stories about our world, and share your favorite mountain experience in the comments. Let's raise our voices for the mountains, because without them, there is no Earth as we know it. Governments must create policies to limit deforestation and unsustainable mining. And above all, we must fight climate change by reducing carbon emissions, supporting clean energy, and planting more trees. Pollution from the lowlands travels upward, contaminating mountain water and air. And careless tourism leaves behind waste, damaging fragile ecosystems. These changes not only harm the environment, but threaten the millions who rely on mountains every day. If we lose our mountains, we lose water, life, culture, and climate stability. The layers of rock reveal ancient climates, tectonic shifts, and the story of evolution. Mountains also help researchers understand climate change, as glaciers shrink and new species emerge due to warming temperatures. Artists, writers, and thinkers have always found inspiration in the silence and grandeur of mountains. From ancient legends to modern novels, mountains have stirred imagination and creativity across generations. They provide timber, medicinal plants, and fertile soils for farming. But with these resources comes responsibility. Excessive mining, logging, and exploitation can destroy the very environment that supports life. Sustainable practices must be implemented to ensure we don't sacrifice long-term survival for short-term gain. The balance between development and conservation is delicate and must be maintained with great care. These people have adapted to the environment, practicing terrace farming, herding animals, and living sustainably. Their knowledge of the land, weather, and medicinal plants is invaluable. They are the guardians of mountain traditions, culture, and wisdom. Protecting their way of life is essential to maintaining the balance between humans and nature in these delicate ecosystems. These towering peaks inspire prayers, pilgrimages, and poetry. They connect people to the divine, offering peace and a sense of purpose. Mountains remind us of something larger than ourselves. These ecosystems are fragile and extremely sensitive to change. Because of their isolation, species have evolved in unique ways, making mountain biodiversity extremely rich and valuable. The Himalayas separate India from China. The Alps divide northern and southern Europe. From skiing in the Swiss Alps to trekking in the Andes or climbing Mount Everest, mountains attract millions of tourists each year. This generates income for local communities, creates jobs, and supports infrastructure. In many places, this ecotourism is a lifeline, helping preserve both culture and nature. Local villagers often serve as guides, host travelers, and sell handmade goods. The presence of tourists creates awareness about conservation and brings the world's attention to the importance of preserving these regions. The Rocky Mountains run like a spine through North America. These ranges influence where people settle, how they trade, and how cultures evolve. Mountains also protect regions from harsh winds or invading forces. For centuries, they have been shields for civilizations, allowing cultures to thrive in their protective shadows. The plants found here often have medicinal properties. Many life-saving drugs are derived from herbs that grow only in mountain regions. In South America, the Andes feed the mighty Amazon River. These mountains ensure water reaches farmlands, cities, and communities. Without mountains, our rivers would dry up, our crops would fail, and millions would face drought. Mountains are more than just majestic landscapes or towering peaks. They are the lifeblood of our planet in ways we often overlook. From the air we breathe, to the water we drink, and even the climate we live in, mountains play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of life on Earth. In this video, we'll explore the incredible importance of mountains and why they are vital for our survival and the health of the planet. Mountains act as the Earth's natural water towers. They provide fresh water to more than half of the world's population. But mountains don't just give water, they also control the weather. As winds blow across the planet, they are forced to rise when they meet mountain ranges. As the air rises, it cools and releases moisture in the form of rain or snow. This process, called orographic precipitation, creates lush forests on one side of the mountains and arid deserts on the other. This natural pattern shapes entire ecosystems and regions. Moreover, mountains help in stabilizing temperatures. Their forests act as carbon sinks, absorbing carbon dioxide and helping to regulate the global climate. In a time of growing climate change, the role of mountains in controlling temperatures and weather patterns is more important than ever. Mountains are also vital hotspots of biodiversity. Despite harsh and extreme conditions, they are home to thousands of species that are found nowhere else in the world. But the importance of mountains isn't limited to science and nature. They are sacred to many cultures and religions. Geographically, mountains shape the very layout of nations. They form natural borders between countries and regions. Economically, mountains support millions of people. They are centers of tourism, adventure, and natural beauty. Mountains are also homes to resilient communities. Over 900 million people live in mountainous areas around the world. And let's not forget that mountains are storehouses of resources. Mountains also play a role in education, science, and inspiration. Yet, despite all their importance, mountains are in danger. Climate change is melting glaciers at alarming rates. So, what can we do? First, we must recognize the value of mountains, not just as scenic views, but as essential life systems. Mountains teach us endurance, balance, and strength. If you've ever been moved by the beauty of a mountain or inspired by its might, then let's honor that feeling by protecting these natural wonders.